Happy Saturday, everyone. How are we? Happy weekend. Things to hate about YouTube, etc. It might be the etc. that gets me in trouble tonight. Potentially. Hopefully not. Hey, Helen, how are you? Bubsy. Sweet Irish. 50 Shades of Blonde. Hey, kindness cake. Hey, Susie. Well, it's officially Sunday morning where I am, but we always seem to be subservient to uh, US times on YouTube with good reason. So I've not been live in I think a couple of months. I was over in Ireland there for a week or so, and I had intended to do a live exactly on this things to hate about YouTube because I go through phases of despising YouTube. Does anyone else? So I thought it might be a good idea to come on and have a vent. Why not, right? I don't really have anything else to say, really. YouTube sucks at times, doesn't it? People suck at times. Oh, Bubsy, you have to go to Ireland at some point. And if you do, stay westward. It's the best part of Ireland. Stay away from the the bigger cities. Stay away from Dublin. No offense, Dublin. Yeah, so Cheryl's put the link in the chat there. Obviously, good God, a lot of shit's happened in the last week or two. The troll from under the bridge has awoken from her slumber. And I have to hand it to her. She does do it in style. Credit where credit's due. I'll always give credit where credit's due. How do I need to pin that link. Cheryl's here. Um, she'll be up in a sec. And yeah, because of that, because of all the craziness that's been going on, which we all know about, then anyone that has anything to say, please feel free to come up, click the link, because I would like to hear it. In the meantime, how has everyone been? Oh, hey, Melanie, I seen you there earlier, actually. Hope you're still
Hello.
here. Hello, Cheryl. How are you, Cheryl? How have you been?
I am good. I'm good.
Good, good.
Um, Learning quickly. I feel like I skipped the last half of elementary school and junior high, and now all of a sudden I'm in high school. I'm learning quickly about certain people on here. Thanks to everybody that's helping catch me up. Um,
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because, as most people know, Helen in chat, happy thoughts. Shirley and I are obviously good friends, but it's kind of interesting because we kind of come from slightly different corners of this YouTube community, don't we?
yeah,
But there is some crossover at times. So we've been kind of educating ourselves. I think Helen knows a little bit more about my side, but you're certainly learning, aren't you?
I am. I saw some stuff. Was it just last week that I'd never seen before? I think it was one of Natasha's lives. The stairs incident was something I'd never seen before. Um, yeah, I'm learning. I'm catching up.
Yeah, that one will never grow old. Jimmy descending down the stairs like a red bowling ball out of hell.
Every because I've seen several people refer to it that way, and every time my mind just it's funny, but then there's a part of me that I don't think it's funny at all.
Yeah,
And again,
and
I'm coming in, behind the eight ball, not knowing
yeah.
most of the history about her or what she's done to people other than what I've been seeing or hearing or reading and things out of her own mouth.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, yeah. The one thing I noticed, he comes down like a bowling ball, and I listened to it several times. I did not once hear her ask him if he was okay. The other thing I noticed is like when he tried to lean over her to get really close to the camera to show everybody like this abrasion he had on his face and his glasses were all, wonky
Hmm.
doodle. She had like this really annoyed look for a second, like, get
Yeah.
back up, so, and I was just like, wow, like it just, yeah, she didn't eat all she got. I thought it was coming to my head. I thought that thing was coming to my head. I thought it was she didn't say, are you okay? I mean, wouldn't that be your first reaction when you hear I mean, I've had some times where I've had some friends like fall and shit. My first actual reaction is just that laughing, but in the middle of the laughing you're going, are you okay, are you okay? There was nothing, and I don't know what to think about that.
Well, you may or may not be surprised to know that, just to echo Kindness Cake there, some people think it was actually a setup for some attention or something. I don't know. I don't know.
I think if I mean, granted, I didn't investigate it and anything, but if that was a real human falling down those stairs on purpose, I would think they would almost need to be, what do they call those people in movies?
Oh, acrobats?
Well, no, the ones that
Oh,
do the
stuntmen. Stuntmen.
stuntmen, because that looked like a genuine tumble. But again, I don't know. I didn't investigate it.
Jimmy, were you a stuntman at one point in your
I
previous
mean,
life?
I guess it could have been like a really large doll or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was fake or not. Wouldn't you, especially if it was fake, wouldn't you at least fake to being concerned about your husband? That was my
Okay,
thought. I don't know.
before anyone falls off their chair, I'm going to use the word that everyone is sick of hearing about, but I'm not going to apologize for it because it is appropriate. If you're a morbid narcissist, then it's very hard to get out of your own head in any circumstances, even with your loved ones. Even if you're in the middle of a tragedy, for instance, and your pet gets killed, and your kids are sitting with the dog's dead body there, a morbid narcissist who has arguments and issues with people on YouTube will think nothing about screaming down the phone about the people that have killed their dog and showing it to YouTube minutes after it happened without a mind to her kid sitting there who's wondering what in the world of fuck is my mother doing screaming down her phone to people about this. Only a morbid narcissist would be capable of that. And there's so many examples of it. And what you pulled off over the last few days are and continuing to pull off is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen. And that's why MRB got upset with me because I made a comment about it. Anyone that's not aware of MRB's latest cute idea, put a 2 in the chat. If you are aware of it, then put a 1.
Well, I don't know. I think I know what you're talking about. Stop for the
Yeah.
word. So going back to the dog thing, I've heard about that. I haven't got up to speed on that story. I did the other night get up to speed on the lost her phone on her girls trip thing. I was, yeah. So the dog thing, I've heard about it, but I don't know firsthand about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we don't have to talk about that because I
We
think
don't.
what I
There's
think you're about to talk about is much more interesting.
yeah, because I guess I was challenged by MRB to flesh out my comment, I guess, because I refer to her as being dangerous. Um, and I'm gonna see the answer for why you're dangerous is rather subtle and it's got nuance to it, so it needs a lot of explanation. So I'm gonna do that. Don't have a problem doing that. Actually, I'll show you the comment. Okay, it looks like most people are aware, but some aren't. Okay. So Merb and a former subscriber of hers, um, someone that was quite close to her at one point, I think. I think she was maybe a moderator. Um, she left MRB quite a while ago, along with a whole bunch of people. Um, Everyone that gets thrown into the bin as being her haters and as being evil. All those people. Um, they've kind of had a running feud, I guess, and they've obviously both got their reasons for this. And I'm not really going to get into the details of that, of the reasons why there is a problem with them both. But what I will say is, whatever, no matter what Bitey Cat Moo has you think she's done or what she has done, what you did in the mythology, the the method with which you performed this and the time you spent on it, no one could have deserved that.
Wasn't there a new, like the third installment or whatever? Did she put that out yet?
Yeah, I should
Okay.
really explain what that is. So what MRB has decided to do, because Bitey Cat is a very good writer and a good communicator, as you can see if you go and look at her community posts, there's another blog out there written by an extremely good writer who is not Bitey Cat, but MRB has put two and two together to get five and thinks it is Bitey Cat. So MRB came up with the light bulb idea that I can just flesh out my hatred here for Bitey Cat by doing a mock short story where I'm going to cast myself as the hero. She calls herself Caroline as opposed to Carolyn, and she changes Bitey Cat's real name to a very similar sounding name. And she casts herself as the vivacious, successful, sweet blog writer who has been
Influencer. Influencer.
influencer, don't forget.
Successful influencer. Yes.
And she's been endlessly victimized by the evil Bitey Cat. And I'm not gonna show you it. I'm not gonna specify the details of it, but you just need to know that it's the most disgusting thing you could ever read on so many levels. But what I'm going to play is her um, getting ready to introduce herself, reading this out in the aftermath of it. Because I think what's contained within her posture, her smugness, and her delight afterwards tells you everything you need to know about who you are, MRB. Because what's different about you than anyone else I've seen on YouTube is that you take such delight in the hope and the thought that you've caused someone real pain, and you probably have, but you take great joy in that. And I've never seen anyone that malignant, and that's why you're dangerous.
Well, can I throw something in there also? Again, I really don't have a dog in this fight because I don't really know her that well, but I have been watching things. Aside from that, she seems to think that these things actually have power. I get what you're saying. I mean, the stuff that she says is just gross and how she's playing it off. But if anybody forgets what it's like to be in like 8th grade when you had to write an essay or a book report, that's exactly what her stuff writes like. I don't know MRB, but I just suggest that you might want to run whatever you write in the future past at least 2 or 3 people who know sentence structure and grammar. And if you want to try to make it sound more actually like this quote unquote story that you're doing or this series, maybe take out so many friggin' adjectives. I mean, you're constant. I mean, you're just dripping with disgust for this person. And if you want to even remotely be taken seriously as somebody who can write an essay or a book report, you might want to try a little harder because it was. I can see where it hurt the person that it was directed at, but I just couldn't get past the fact that it sounded like something a 13-year-old would write.
Yeah,
A book report, trying to, describe the evil person in the or the villain in the book. And so what does a 13-year-old do? Just throw a bunch of friggin' adjectives in front of it. And that's kind of what she did. It was ridiculous, actually. But I think part of her smugness is I think she really thinks it's really good. Like it's really wrote well. And she
I'm
couldn't be
trying.
she couldn't be more wrong.
I'm trying to work out if she really does think that she's written this well, because I'm willing to accept that she wasn't attempting to win the Pulitzer Prize next year, right? But even still, it's the most childishly
It
written
is.
nonsense I've ever seen.
It
Are,
is.
did you? Are you meaning to sound like you're 7 years old? Is that what you're actually trying to achieve? Is that part of this game you're playing? I don't know, but it's it's so bad.
It is. It is. And
And
I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer, but I've read, and you don't have to be a writer to not write like that. That was just in her description. Somebody put it in chat, how she was, I think after one of them, she was saying something to the effect of, being a failed mother with no career, talking about the next installment or whatever. And somebody pointed out, and I have to 100% agree now that I've seen it. Like, I think she's having a hard time writing it so well because in her mind she's projecting her own feelings about herself onto this other person. But that's a whole nother subject that we can get into later. But it was horrible. It's horrible. It's if there's any school teachers of middle school kids out there, I'm really sorry because I have no doubt that that's the kind of stuff you guys have to read on a daily basis. And at least you kind of expect it from a 13-year
yeah,
old,
well, it's kind of
not from a woman who claims to be a blogger. Like, are you
yeah,
kidding?
it's rather funny because we do have a friend that actually is a primary school teacher who's seen this shit and was pointing out all the things that you're saying. They were in hysterics at this shit. Just to give you a little quick example, so she's talking about the target here that she has, the villain, the evil person, and she says her name literally recoiled in disgust. Abstract letters can't recoil, MRB. That just doesn't work. Doesn't work. Try better. You're going to get an F for this.
I'm picturing, like I said, like this little caterpillar worm, when you go to touch them and they curl up and look like this little coil. This name that she uses and it curls up. Like, what? What? I think she forgot some descriptive word in there, like her name makes you coy. I don't know. I don't know, but it was that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
I mean, the only way I can forgive such comical writing is if you just were so in a hurry and so full of hate that you just rushed this out really quickly. We're up to part 3 now, kids. Okay, keep your eyes peeled because there's more. There's more cast characters to come as well. It's not just this one person. All her haters, all the individuals with mental health issues, all the evil people are all we're all going to get um selected at some point, I imagine. So look out. But this is the comment, right? I put this comment under one of it was either Bitey Cat or Hell to the Nose post in the aftermath of this. So this is what she's seen, and she referred to this comment the other day because the reason I'm talking about this now is in the aftermath. Obviously, Natasha had a few things to say, Bitey Cat, and Hilton had a few things to say. And she went on a rant, like a true rant, and about 20 people all got a special um, mention. And I was one of them, right? But this was the comment. So, gross, vile, childish, and pathetic. This straw slurping clown is truly dangerous. Only you, Merb, are deranged enough to be experiencing the kind of neurotic delusion needed to be capable of stooping this low. And I mean every single word of that, every word, and I can explain why, and I'm gonna. But when she was paraphrasing this, she inserted something about her gender. She said that I was calling her a sorry excuse for a woman. I have never said that anywhere, and she will know this. But it's very interesting that you bring up my gender when you were responding to me. What's my gender got to do with this? Interesting that you focused on that, me as a man. Like, does that somehow, delegitimize anything I've got to say? I don't think so. But what I'm going to do,
Hey, just so you know, I put the link in the chat again. I actually said for her, um, since she likes to sit on her panel and scream for you to come over and talk. I thought maybe,
talk.
yeah, I thought maybe, if she wants to call you out for being basically a chicken shit for not coming on her panel when you weren't even really watching at the time, she can feel free to come over here. I'll jump off and you two can have at it.
Yeah, feel free, MRB. I've got no problem because obviously you were talking about the video that I played, and I will talk about that. And I will acknowledge that that was not my finest moment. You've got me on that one, okay? And yeah, I've got no problem apologizing for that. But I will put it in some context in a bit. But yeah, if you want, now the problem is MRB's so great that she never, in her entire history on YouTube, I don't think she's ever gone on anyone else's panel. She's too good for that shit. It's just us minions that have to scurry around going on other panels. No, not MRB. She's too good for that shit. So I highly doubt that's going to happen. But if some miracle does happen, then feel free.
I've
It's
seen her
pinned at
pop
the
in
top.
chats. I've seen her pop in chats. Random chat.
Well, she pops in chats when there's something of potential benefit to her.
Yep, that's true. But again, she won't be able to go on her panel and talk about, are you too afraid to come over or whatever the hell she said. When you've now extended it again, she maybe she's not watching, so that could be valid. But if she is, then
Yeah, well, to be honest, I wouldn't have had any problem going on her panel, but I was shattered. I'm obviously over in the UK. It was very late. You know, it's fine to be making comments, you know, when you're that tired, but no, I wasn't going on your panel, MRB. But yeah, come over here and Shirley, she says, she'll jump off. Or a third party panel, I don't care.
I mean,
I know,
it'll never happen, but.
nah. Um,
And
I
I
know
had
I've
to
had.
walk away. I had to walk away. You were apologizing for what?
Okay, so back in, I don't know when it was, a year and a half ago maybe,
Mm-hmm.
someone else did a video where they were calling MRB the big bad C word about a million times, to be fair.
Okay.
Someone that I was obviously affiliated with. Um, and I edited that video. Now, to my shame, I was in a very bad place at this point. Um, and I made a terrible decision by playing this on my own channel, right?
Right.
For to give you the context, I mean, MRB had been degrading myself and this other person's online relationship, and making threats to her. And I obviously at this point in time, I was rather defensive or protective, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a dumb mistake and I played it. And I obviously now she said on her channel that I played the video that says MRB is the C word. And yeah, I did play this. Now, from what I remember, I beeped out all those words. Um, but I guess I typed in the title. I was in the chat and I can't remember what I was saying, but yeah, I may have said something that I'd regret. I'm not proud of using that word, but see over here in the UK, it just that word just doesn't have the same kind of power it seems to have over there. It's not an excuse. I'm not justifying this. Okay, this was not my finest moment, and I did it for dumb reasons, and I obviously took it down pretty quickly. And I've never hidden my mistakes on YouTube. This is the other thing. MRB was saying that, yeah, Rabid, you want to have this squeaky clean reputation or something. It's not the case. Okay,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
people that you are trying to portray yourself as being, you really do think you're squeaky clean, and you project this constantly as being this perfect person. That's not a real human being, okay? I actually get scared of people that have never made mistakes. Because how the fuck do you grow as a person if you never make mistakes?
Well, I mean, she makes mistakes. Clearly, she does. She doesn't admit them, so she doesn't grow. Which is probably why she writes like a 14-year-old or a 13-year-old.
It's funny you say that because I wonder if. Now, MRB, you are intelligent, okay? But emotional intelligence is another thing. And I wonder if your emotional intelligence has
Stunted.
been stunted, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
from when you were playing with your little dolls, that kind of age, you know? Because for you to come up with the method that you did to attack someone, 72-year-old woman like that, and the joy with which you did it, makes you kind of dangerous because I really do believe that because you speak about hell a lot and damnation, I think you salivate at the thought that people might actually end up in hell, or you might cause people to be in real pain. And that is what makes you dangerous, because that's what you asked me to explain.
I
But
I would agree with you. It again. Well, first off, what somebody in the chat. Let me go find it. Lyndon, is it Lyndon or I have to scroll back up?
oh, Lyndon is from Natasha's.
Okay, she said, "Be careful showing anything of hers because she struck Natasha this morning for playing a 3-minute part of her stuff." Um, all right. Besides that, whether you decide to show it or not, everybody can go out and look for themselves if you don't. But the gloating on her face, like what you were talking about, the before and after, partially it looks like she's just like that kid that reads that they've been working on this book report for a week and they're reading it to their mom and dad and they're positive they're going to get an A. Like that little boy in A Christmas Story, how he wrote that about the Red Ryder BB gun. He just knew he was going to nail that report with this proud look on his face. That's what she reminded me of, a little kid that just knew she was going to get an A for this. But there is that other part, like what you said, she almost seems so disgustingly smug, thinking she just slammed this woman. And I don't even know who this woman is. But if even a tiny bit of what she said in the story is even remotely true about this woman, she's a pig. I'm sorry, she's a pig. She seemed to really enjoy tearing this woman apart. Now, if this woman deserves it, then you wouldn't need to write a story and pretend it's fiction, would you? If this woman, and again, I'm not, I don't need anybody to defend this person because I'm not saying she is or isn't, but if this woman really was this horrible person, this backstabbing person to Carolyn and did all these things to her, then she would just be able to call her out. She wouldn't have to do this story in the way she's doing it. So that kind of led me to believe that's probably not all true. Again, more projecting, the mirror reflect, but she seemed to really enjoy thinking that she just ripped this woman a new one. And that's gross. Yeah. That's gross. Yeah. And as far as the C word, yes, that is definitely out of the three main places, you know, the U.S. Well, I don't know about Canada, actually.
Canada hates everything.
I thought Canadians love everything. I thought they're just like, they love everything.
I'm joking.
Yeah. So the UK, Canada. So from my perspective with the people that I deal with, the UK, you guys do use that word more frequently.
Yeah.
But the Australians, they use it like I use the F word, which is off the top. They just throw it out there.
In Australia, that's just a polite greeting.
Yeah. So, yeah. And again, it's for me, I think I had probably only heard it a few times in my entire life till I got onto YouTube. But I don't know. She seemed to think like you called her, you know, Satan. Like I come on. The woman's not in her 20s or 30s. You probably have been called that at least once or twice. And if you haven't, then you definitely have behind your back. It's not the worst thing in the world, especially online. It's online. So what? Someone calls you. I'm not saying that what you did was okay, but I'm saying she seemed to want to make it like he came in and he burnt my house down and he tied me to a chair and made me watch everything I love go up in flames because you called her a C word, or you showed a video that had the C word. And it's like, come on, like, that's not the worst thing. Again, maybe in her world, but if that's the case, I don't know how she's managed to be on the internet this long. Then if that word got her worked, it didn't get her worked up. She's using it as a fucking excuse. I don't think anything about this woman, her pearl clutching shit is actually real. It's her trying to look like, yes. And
I'm a man.
Well, you know, that, oh, Jesus Christ. That's the other thing. I am so sick and tired of people, you know, because there's a few men from the other community that I'm in, and they get the same fucking rash of shit. And it's ridiculous. A man talking to a woman, like, you know what? I'll tell you what, you and at least 2 or 3 of the other men that I can think of off the top of my head that I interact with have not said nearly the jaw-dropping, shocking shit that I've heard come out of some women's mouths. So that's bullshit. It's horrible to say, because you're a man, you can't say something to a woman. You definitely can't say anything that they might find offensive. And I'm going to go there. This is horrible, but I'm just going to go there and then I'll go on mute. Caroline, stop with the fucking using your Christianity. That's disgusting. From one Christian to another, stop fucking using it, especially when you're gonna put the shit out there talking about this woman in the way that you did, supposedly, and I'm using air quotes, that it's fiction. No, No, that's not how God works, sweetie. I think you need a little more Jesus in your life. Go to church. Go to church. Reevaluate your priorities. If that's how you're feeling, if you want to use God as your basis for half the shit that you won't say or that offend you, you're using him the wrong way. And we all know what God thinks of that.
Yeah, and I hope people know what I mean by this. She feels like a very Old Testament type of Christian to me. I think she would rather enjoy the vengeful God that is in the Old Testament, you know?
Yeah, I don't. Why am I echoing?
Are you
I don't
echoing?
know. Yeah, I'm just gonna say this real quick. I don't know what religion she is, but she sounds a lot like Southern Baptist. She likes the horrible, the hellfire and brimstone part.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's not the kind I've got respect for religion. I'm not really religious, but I'm definitely spiritual. I would say how would I describe it? I'm an optimistic agnostic, but the religion that you peddle, MRB, is kind of scary. Hey, Sarah. Always good to see you here. Oh, Sarah, I'm just one of a long list of people that she's been going for lately. I presume, Sarah, you are aware of what she's been up to over the last few days with her disgusting, childish, pathetic blog story about someone on YouTube. Um, yeah, if she strikes me for playing this, I don't care. I rarely get strikes, but you have to see this because she gives everything away in her behavior, her posture, her face, and what's dripping off every syllable that she speaks. As I say, I'm not gonna play her reading out the actual story out of respect for the other person, but I'm gonna let you hear her introducing it here. She'd already advertised this, trying to stoke up the excitement, and then as you can see here, this is halfway through the live. So she's done her true crime, reading out the articles
Can I?
and yeah.
Well, you got to take that off the screen, I think.
What?
I'm echoing. Can you take that off the screen?
Oh, hold on.
I just want to say this really quick because I didn't mean that Southern Baptists are like that. I'm talking about I can't even think of the word right now. Like the tent revival, hellfire and brimstone Southern Baptists. I'm not talking about all Southern Baptists. I'm talking more of the fringe. Like I said, the tent revivals, the kind of crazier hellfire and brimstone, where that's pretty much all that they teach. And I can say I'm not Baptist. I was raised non-denominational, but my church, I'm convinced now, looking back, growing up, he was probably one of those, because that's pretty much most of what our sermons were, is about, the punishment, the wrath of God, the punishment, going to hell, things like that. That's what I want.
Yeah.
All right, Lyndon, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't trying to bash all Southern Baptists. That's not what I meant at all. I just didn't make it very clear.
Cool. All right. You're not echoing now, no?
No.
Okay. It does that sometimes on StreamYard when you try and share the screen. I've got no other way I can do it here. Hold on. I'll try it again. Hopefully it's okay this time. Oh, hey Irene. Okay, Sarah. So you heard her rant about me. Okay. Her short story is slanderous revenge. I've mentioned the book People of the Lie in the past. I've heard you mention that. I've been doing my own writing on her, applying that book to her evil. Yes, I've heard the blog. Yeah, has anyone noticed how much she loves the word evil?
Hey, that's a pretty popular word in the other community that I'm in too. It seems like whenever somebody says something that you don't like, you get to label them as evil. That's just the thing.
Yeah, either you're a hater or you're actually legit evil.
Well, so just from my perspective in that other community, you go from being a troll to a hater to you're just evil. That's the progression of your metamorphosis in the community. And sometimes all it takes is just saying something somebody doesn't like.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you're an evil soul. It's weird how that seems to be a thing.
Right? Sorry guys, my StreamYard's giving me problems here. I want to highlight this comment by Sarah because this is something to notice about Merb. And I was talking to someone very smart with some very interesting observations, and I've kind of noticed it myself, but I can never say it as good as them. But has anyone noticed how the accusations that she's made about this other person in her short story, and that she's, and it's quite a common thing, it's not just isolated to this story, but how often, in fact, blatantly, obviously, that she's talking about herself. Almost every descriptor that she uses is, whether or not it's true about the other person, I'm sure it's not, it's without a doubt true about her, which is, you would imagine anyone with at least a little bit of self-awareness would be aware of that, or anyone that has a little bit of self-doubt might notice how it might look. And she will never have the tools to be able to become aware of this. But many people have noticed how you're really talking to yourself in the mirror without understanding that it's a mirror. You think you're looking through a frame, like a window or the computer screen to YouTube, but you're actually looking at a mirror, Merb, when you're saying these things. And it's plainly obvious to anyone that's paying attention. And that's interesting. So thanks for reminding me, Sarah. Okay, so right, so I'm going to play this. This is her halfway through her live the other day, and this is her. This is the big premiere of her story, so she's about to introduce it. And you'll hear in the background, she's in the kitchen doing something, she's making ice or some shit. And you hear her walking back to the microphone, and you hear her giant feet slapping on the tiles of the kitchen. Couldn't help but notice that.
Okay. Candle burning behind me because it's my mother's birthday on the 20th, so I had a candle. I've got to remember to. Yeah.
I just want to hear her feet again.
Okay. Candle burning behind me because it's my mother's birthday on the 20th, so I had a candle. I've got to remember to. No, they haven't found her body. Nope. Okay. So let me just see if we.
Oh, no idea, Tracy, why she would have you blocked. Can't think.
Covered everything. That's much better. Okay, so we did Brian Koberger, we did the dad, we did the family, and we did Harmony. And we'll have to go back to that. But I want to bring up something else. And if you haven't read it, we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to start writing, well, some short story. Well, I don't know how short they'll be. It might, this, I've been told like just one of the, one of my experiences, and these are going to be based off of experiences because I've had a lot of experiences here on YouTube. I've had a lot of different experiences. I've had imposter experiences. I've had lots of mental illness dealing with it. And so I thought I would use some creative inspiration that I have. I like to write. I do. I'm even thinking of screenplays because some of this stuff really is fitting on a screenplay. We're even thinking of doing some collaborations, maybe that some of us would contribute to, and eventually make a large book of all of the different social media personalities and people with mental illness that we've come across, whatnot and whatnot. So I decided to get started on that today. It's a good place to channel a lot of the, instead of trying to, no matter what you say with these personality types and this mental illness, they will never, ever, ever accept the truth and that they're telling lies. They will gaslight and they will do all kinds of things. So let me bring my energy and just.
Hasn't Mer been incredibly unlucky to have met so many people that have now left her? They all have this mental illness, these personality types, all these deviants, all these evil people, all these haters. So unlucky, Merb.
Right, with loosely based on my experiences. So that's what I'm doing. And I just find it freeing because while there's the legal route to take with certain aspects that I will take, if any of that comes to fruition, I will definitely take that. They should see that I've done that. But other than that, what they say doesn't matter because they lie.
And don't be in any doubt that another aspect of this horridness is this implicit threat, form of blackmail to her enemies. Hey, Natasha. Feel free to come up, Natasha. I'm sure you've got things to say. Yeah. And just for the record, Merb, just because you're able to form this attack under this pseudo short story, just because you can get away with doing that, doesn't make you it doesn't put you in the right here, and it doesn't make it any less disgusting. And you give yourself away after this with your reaction to reading this out.
And they don't matter. So the people that matter know, and that's all. So now I'm going to write, and this is going to be informative. And somebody said that they'd like me to read these writings when I write them. So I don't know. I
wonder who it is that has advised you to do that. Does anyone really think this is not her idea? Give me a break.
think by tomorrow I should have another, more chapters of this story, if you will, or I don't know exactly how this is going to go out, but then I maybe will, once I get a few of them down, start, kind of putting them into a book or whatever.
It's not happening.
And so I just wanted to know, I got a lot of good feedback on it. And if you haven't heard it, I'll read it now and I'll show you the pictures. This is my own writing, all original. This is not subject to any copyright except mine. This is my material.
You wouldn't get me to admit that. Mm-mm.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd never admit that.
And just because of the fact that it's all yours at Merb, and because it's under your copyright, doesn't make it any less disgusting.
Are copyright free. They do require no, they're allowed to be used. Okay, so let's now from here. So the title of this, and you can let, well, let me just grab this here. I want to have my chat up while I'm reading with you. Hold on,
She's very much hoping that she's going to be roundly celebrated for this clapback, I guess. And she doesn't quite get what she wants, which is kind of funny. But I'm just going to let you hear her begin this, so you can get an idea of the tone. And anyone that's not seen this, take my word for it. The content of this, you would need a sick bucket.
what did I just do? You know what? I went into the wrong. No wonder. Hold on, I went into the wrong thing and I lost my blog thing, but I'll just pull it up. And this is on my blog, so you can keep checking truecrimechat.org.
No one cares about your shitty blog. Trust me.
Okay. And let me pull this over. Okay. Now let me get you up here. Now I can see.
Make sure to zoom in.
Okay, so here we go. This story is the True Crime on YouTube series, and this one is 72-year-old self-proclaimed New York City street fighter attacks grieving mother relentlessly. This is going to revolve around two people, okay? One is Hope, and one is a blogger. She resides in Seattle, and she's a food blogger, and her name is Caroline. We are bringing you a dark tale. Let me make this a little larger. A short story with an evil villain. Our story's villain is a trash-talking, sex-obsessed, elderly, bitter woman who is seething with jealousy over a much younger, vivacious, successful writer and YouTube creator.
Vivacious. Vivacious. Vivacious means attractively lively and animated. Folks, that's Merb. And the rest of the story is just as vomit-inducing as this introduction. But it's the aftermath of this that is kind of beyond words, and it's why I think you are dangerous. Because I think you might have hurt a lot of people in your childish, pathetic, narcissistic life. Family members, perhaps.
So what do you think?
I love the silence from her panel.
Yeah, notice the obvious awkwardness of her panel here. Her live chat has obviously more people in it here than she's had for a while, but you're not going to see it bouncing with the plaudits or adoration that she was hoping for.
Yeah, I think I was telling you, like in that other community, there's a very talented writer, and another creator would do the lives, and she would read out these fantasy stories that she wrote, and oh my gosh, in the chat, people would be laughing, they'd be applauding, it was just so different to see this reaction. And she's got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or not including her second self on there, so 6 people on panel. It's just silence. I love that. I love that for her.
I do too, because it's what you deserve. You deserve to have this placid, witless panel that you have. They're all fucking terrified about saying anything that might offend you. And I have to say, hearing Scoots up on your panel the other day, I felt for her. You did not like her, even sounding like she might be challenging any aspect of you describing this hot mic moment that happened. You were rather shouting her down, weren't you? You did not like what she had to say. And I mean, I'm sure people are there to support you, but they sound terrified. It's not a happy camp. But just observe the glee and satisfaction in her face. Because I promise you, she would take such delight in thinking that this has caused real pain. And I think you've caused a lot of real pain to people in the past and being just as gleeful about it. I think you enjoy the thought of it. I mean, everyone can be nasty on YouTube from time to time and say some like shitty things, but there's something unique about you that I've never seen. I promise you, I've never seen it in anyone else on YouTube.
You, the series?
I just want to go back to the slurping of her straw that I mentioned in that
Yeah, sorry.
comment.
I just had to throw that out there about the silence is so awkward and cringy.
Yeah, there's so much to say about this.
So, what do you think? Do you think we should continue the series?
No.
No, you really shouldn't. And can someone please tell Merb that even though she thinks that she's mocking Natasha here with this ridiculous tiara that gets ever larger from live to live, it's really not working.
Yeah, it's not even funny, but even if she did it once, but she's still doing it, now you just look stupid. Again, it's like elementary stuff, that mental mentality is like stuck in like,
Yeah.
well, I was given credit in saying junior high, but the wearing the crown thing is just stupid. It's not funny. It's not even remotely insultive. I highly doubt Natasha is looking at it going, oh, that fucking bitch for doing, like, you just look dumb.
See, it's all about the nuance that Merb doesn't see, because you have to, you need to have the wit and charisma and understanding of irony to pull that off. Uh, Natasha and Critical K can pull it off. You never will. You always look like an idiot. You're just exaggerating how much of a clown you are. Honestly.
Let me know. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Senrisa.
She's so proud of herself.
You can just go, if you would like to read it yourself, you can go to truecrimechat.org. It's right, it'll be the first story up on the page.
Yeah, it sounds like a good story. I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, I know you're upset about Cruella.
Well, you know.
Oh yeah, folks. Part of her creative spark was to make an allusion to Cruella for this evil villain of the story. I think this person speaking actually has a soft spot for the real person. You can tell.
I was always very friendly with her.
I know.
Good friend. Yeah.
Yeah, Merv doesn't give a
Okay,
shit
then.
about that.
You know.
I know. Deborah
Sometimes you
Vancouver.
can't always be a good example. Sometimes you got to be the bad example.
Yeah.
The bad example.
Like she's so
You-
badass, right?
You're not badass, Merv.
You had to do it. Someone has to be the badass. Yeah, it didn't even cut close.
This is the YouTube version of Tumbleweed.
Every story's got to have a villain.
Ka-ching! Great line there, Merv.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know that Cruella is, though, in this one. Not so sure.
Yeah, hope.
I look forward to the sequel.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot. Yeah, a lot of.
Mhm.
It'll be a lot of information. You know, maybe you'll recognize certain types. I mean, we've run across. It's been a long time, so there's a lot of material to build into stories. I guess you call them based on true events, and names have been changed to protect the innocent. And
What?
that's
Yeah.
what we're going to do.
Yeah. That
Every
makes it
story needs to be told.
Cheryl, that makes it okay, doesn't it? That makes
Well,
it
I mean,
alright.
there, according to her, there's only one friggin' innocent person in there, and that's this vivacious YouTube influencer who actually has exactly the same name with just a slight variation at the end of it. So what? I mean, yeah. But again, I'm just going to say this really quick before you go on. Somebody that doesn't know her, just my experience on YouTube, that sounds a lot like low level threatening. Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot. There's a lot of information coming out.
Oh,
That sounds like some passive aggressive threatening right there, right?
there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I don't know very many congregations that would condone that type of behavior from a godly woman. Just saying.
Right? My God.
You're right, Kevin, and there are many, many stories to tell here.
Many, many, many.
So interesting. I think it's a good outlet, you know. Creative.
Yep, 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 yep.
And we'll do that.
We'll do that. She's so disgusting.
And we'll do that. But yeah, anytime you can leave a comment there on the blog if you like, or you could write to me if you have any you know, ideas, or if you'd say, hey, you know, you're right about that.
I know I've had some issues with Scooter. Scooter and I have had a few issues in the past, but I like Scooter again. I do.
Could take care of that. Hello, Scooter. Did you remain up? Elle, did you stay up?
Huh?
Well, somebody was yawning. Bucky?
No, I just was coughing a little bit. I didn't yawn yet.
Oh, okay.
Hi, I wanted to say hi to Beth, Adventures with Beth. Oh, and Jeanette.
With Beth. Hi, Jeanette.
See, if I was you, Merv, I'd maybe, because your channel is important to you, right? That's nothing wrong with that. But do you never wonder why your panel always sounds like this often? It's not down to the algorithm. It's not down to Natasha. It's not down to BBT. There's something about you.
How's everybody doing?
I guarantee you that a lot of those people are noticing the unavoidable grossness of what just occurred there. And I'm hoping you guys in chat have seen it, because I didn't play it, right? It was there's no words.
I'm missing. Hello to everybody. Hi, Marianne. Oh, Rich, you went good night. And Christine.
Her chat's not moving. I think she calls out for someone, asking what they thought about it in a second.
Went to night. Who went night?
Rich goes to bed early.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Risa, Marianne, L, Lisa L. Let's see. Rich. Where's facilitator?
That's the end of the clip. I don't think Felicitator showed up. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's what I wanted to play.
Can I say something again? I'm coming from somebody that doesn't know the history. I think I saw her like long time ago with the Chris Watts stuff. I didn't watch her Chris Watts stuff, but I found her channel during that time.
Yeah.
I think it was her. If in the beginning, if she used to like sit at her island, if I think it's the same person, I'm not sure. Anyways,
yeah,
I don't know what has transpired between all these creators and her. I can say though, because I have just, like we've talked about, I've just kind of had a crash course in her. Whatever she's trying to present to get new subscribers to come to her, I can't imagine that that's working. I do know she has like this thing with BBT and Natasha, and there's some other obviously this bitey cat person. Yeah. But let's just say I'm just somebody floating around YouTube and I come across her, right?
Yeah.
What she's putting out there, I can't believe that that's helping her. So like you said, if she wants to make her channel successful again, because I do remember I did have friends that did watch her a long time ago. I didn't, but she was popular. This is not how you do it. This whatever she's doing, I don't know. Whatever she's doing, it's not working. You need to change your direction. And I hate to keep bringing the religion thing up, but that's only because almost every friggin' clip that I've seen from her has her talking about that kind of crap. But, I don't know what her problem is, but she can't seem to let it go. There seems to be some deep-seated, spiteful, angry, and like you said, that word, and I hate that word probably more than you do, the word narcissist. But if you look up, if anybody wants to look up the classic signs of a narcissistic parent, you're going to find her in almost every one of those descriptions. And so she can't let whatever she has. I don't think she can let whatever issue she has with these people. She can't let it go. And she takes everything so personally, which is classic narcissist. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if she does happen to hear this just from somebody that doesn't know you that well, if you're trying to grow your channel, and it looks like you probably need to. I mean, I see you got a lot of subs, but I don't see a lot of views, and I don't see a lot of people in your chat. You may want to rethink the direction you're going in, because even your panel and your chat that night after you read that out was embarrassing. It was, and I'm sure it was because it was like everybody else. They were just sitting there thinking, oh, what? I don't even know how to respond to this. What was that?
And she's up to part 3 now. I'm sure part 4 will be out tonight, and I'm sure she's got a whole host of characters, YouTube characters, in line to be
Maybe you'll
doing the
be in the
same
fourth
thing.
one now. You might
I
be in the.
better not be. I better not be. Or I'll just have to tell my own story about poor Rabid Dog, you know.
So you wouldn't be the rabid dog. You'd be like the.
Rabid Cat.
Well, you'd be like the total opposite. We do opposite, tame wolf or something stupid. I don't know. The feral cat. That's what you'd be. You'd be a feral cat.
Yeah. And like I can see you guys saying in chat, you know, it's to her detriment without a doubt. And like you said, Cheryl, any new people that have come to her channel over the last few months, I'm not kidding, she went through about 20 people, you know. She went after Casbah, Evie, Held to the No, Natasha, someone called Nancy. And by the way, someone on our panel called Sharon, what she said about that Nancy was just disgusting. You know, that was really intended to hurt. You might need to look at yourself and how you might be getting influenced over there. But she just cannot say it's this there's always something. It's a big red flag when there's never any indication of any humility from someone. Someone that has never acknowledged a single mistake. Put a 1 in the chat if you've never heard MRB apologize for anything or acknowledge a mistake she's ever made. I mean, she's been on YouTube now, what, 5, 6 years to our knowledge?
This will be interesting because I don't know enough.
Oh, hey, Broken Justice. Good to see you. I hope you're well. I know I heard you've had some difficulties lately. Hope you're well. And all right, Jenny Joe. It's a kind of rhetorical question, really. You've never shown any humility, you know? And it's not a strength, it's a weakness. Because that's not normal to have. I mean, how many billion hours have you been on YouTube and you've never had to acknowledge a mistake? And I promise, because another thing that Merb said is that I'm trying to be squeaky clean or something, you know, and I've never made any mistakes. I've made plenty goddamn mistakes, and I've said it many times.
Many
You know?
times. But can I also just say something? I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, but you and I chat, semi-frequently. I can say, at least my experience with you, offline, you're exactly the same as you are online.
Thanks, Cheryl.
It's not like all of a sudden, you end a live and then all of a sudden you're a different person. Yeah. You're exactly the same. You're very careful with your words. You try not to say anything as fact unless you know it's a fact. And if it's not, then you state that you don't know it as a fact. I mean, you're not,
right?
Yeah.
Try to.
So again, that kind of goes to, because you had told me, about the person that gave you some insight into her writing, and that's where that came from for me. When I said that, it wasn't my original thought, by the way. Again, that's a projection, I think, because she's the one, if anything, that tries to look like she's the perfect person. She's the perfect mother, wife, blogger, crafter, whatever. And so for her to throw that at you, I think that's just another projection.
Oh, undoubtedly, and it's blatantly obvious when you actually stand back a bit and look at it.
Yeah.
And I hate to kind of advertise it in any way, but if any of you guys have seen this, I mean, just read through the list of insults that she makes and claims that she makes, and think to yourself how many of them you perceive to be true about her. It's staggering. Is Natasha still around? I think she said she was gonna jump back in, maybe come up on panel. Well, it's really true kindness cake, and it sounds kind of cheesy or whatever, or pretentious, but I genuinely care about not many more things to the degree that I do about the truth. Hey Natasha. Okay, so I'll put the link in the chat if you fancy coming up and hate bonding.
She says the baby's leaving soon.
Okay. All right.
Mine just left. I don't know. I had to keep going. I don't know if you heard. I had to keep going on mute because he's a little worked up today. I think his mom and dad have been feeding him chocolate and then bring him up here. That's not cool. It's supposed to be the other way around.
Well, sugar can be a problem, right?
Well,
Young ones.
I don't know this person she was talking about, but if even a little bit of what she said was true, because she was there was yeah, I mean, you guys would have to read it, but there was the comment about being a hoarder and her mother, and I don't know. I mean, maybe no.
Bringing up her daughter. What's wrong with you? It was intended as viciously as possible to hurt.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to take your guys' word for it. That person doesn't deserve it, because I'm just going to be honest. Anybody that doesn't know me from that other community, like I have no problem saying some people deserve to be friggin' drugged, the road rash, leave scars all over their body. They definitely deserve that. There are people like that, but I'm assuming based on a few things that you have said and some other people said, like this other person doesn't deserve that.
No, nothing. There's nothing she could have done that deserved that. And to see, and I've said it about numerous times, but the glee with which you communicated that said so much about you.
And didn't you tell me that this other person is a much older woman too? Not that that's necessarily an excuse, because old people can be mean. I mean, they can be mean, and it doesn't give them a right to be that way without getting called out. But I don't know. I just, again, not knowing the parties, just reading that and thinking that there's somebody at the other end of that based on what you said, that is not a horrible, ugly person, which there are plenty of. That was just cruel. It was cruel. And she seemed to enjoy it way too much. I don't use the word evil. I reserve that for special things, but that was pretty close. Those looks on her face, like she really thought she did good and she enjoyed it. And that was so gross.
It's precisely the right word. And it's why it's so disgusting. And it's why I said you're dangerous. Because
well, I think she is, just from what I've seen. And again, not a psychologist, not claiming to be one, but we all know a little bit more about psychology and criminal behavior just from true crime world, right? So yeah, I think she's very dangerous. I heard that call on the trip when she lost her phone. I did. I think it was you that told me supposedly the backstory about why that phone was so important to her at that moment, I think, but yeah. I don't care. Her behavior was so unhinged. Yeah, I agree. She can be a very emotional, from what I've seen, an emotional and mentally dangerous person to somebody.
Yep. And she was mocking as well the fact that, she was trying to say I had a mental, me and Emily has mental problems, because I obviously, at the period that I put that video out that she's referring to, the obviously I didn't cover myself in glory, obviously, right? I was genuinely very depressed at that point, right? And I did it for dumb reasons. I know that, right? But I don't have a problem acknowledging that. And it's actually, I think everyone could do with taking a break from social media from time to time, right? I think perspective is very important, you know? I mean, when on earth, in the last 5, 6 years, when has Merb had a break? You know, like when I say a break, I mean more than 2 days off of this YouTube thing. How can you have any perspective living that way? You know?
Yeah, one of the things, yeah, when she said that about, having a psychotic break, the thing with that I took from that, she wasn't saying that like, no, I don't like what you're talking about now. Like she's losing perspective. She's, that famous quote that everybody likes to use on YouTube, she's lost the plot, because she doesn't take breaks. She was using that, which you've admitted that was a very
Yeah.
low point in your life. She used that against you by throwing that at you. Again, just another nasty tactic for no other reason because you left a comment,
Yeah.
The other thing I noticed about her is that anybody she doesn't like has mental issues. She says that
Yeah.
over it. She has
Over
mental
and
issues.
over.
He has they have mental issues. They have mental, it's serious. First off, everybody has mental issues probably to some degree, but come on, stop. Again, you're not evil. If you don't like her, that doesn't make you evil. I mean, you could be, but that doesn't make you evil. Just because you say shit she doesn't like or use words she doesn't like, or you make videos about her that she doesn't like, doesn't make that person have mental issues. I mean, Jesus Christ, just a few things I've seen. She gives everybody that doesn't like her enough ammo to make 10,000 videos. If you don't want people making videos about you, there's a really easy way to do that. Stop talking about everybody else and stop labeling everybody else all these words that clearly are things you see in yourself, but you're not willing to admit.
Yeah.
And that'll cost you $150 for that psychological advice.
Yeah, it's a pity I don't have that. I can see the that's the first time I've noticed do you know how there's that little thing in the corner of the chat box where you can put love hearts and stuff and little emojis you can click them.
Yeah.
I just seen them flicking up there for your comment there, Cheryl. Nice. See, there we go again. Look, do you see the hearts, Cheryl, going up?
I don't. I'm on my laptop. I don't see anything.
Well, they're all floating up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're getting resounding agreement there, I think.
See, MRB, that's all you have to do is just not be a psychotic bitch and people will let you have to say.
Everyone has to keep clicking it now. Everyone has to click this now. Come on, guys.
No, don't do that. That seems weird. Are you or is anybody in the chat actually, and you guys don't have to answer if you don't want to, are you guys actually friendly with the person that she was talking about? I kind of wonder how that person
She's fine. She's fine. She's a hardy soul. Yeah, she'll be fine.
Good.
She's got a lot of friends and she's got a lot of support, so she'll be good.
Good.
And yeah, see, the thing is, Merv, like the reason that what you tried to claim about me doesn't have any punch is because I don't see that as a weakness. I really don't. It's just part of being a human being. It's the human condition. Okay, we make mistakes. If we don't see the mistakes and we don't acknowledge them to ourselves, most importantly, and try and grow as a result, then you're not going to end up very wise. So yeah, it's just it doesn't have any punch, Merb. So you can't hurt me. Sorry.
That's the other thing that I think at least it looks like from my perspective, she really is trying to hurt people. I mean, I'm glad that other person's fine. But she's not very good at it. She's really not. But the trying to do it, that's just as bad as if she did do it. And
absolutely.
And to go back to how she's always saying everybody has these mental illnesses. They have the mental illness. If they really have mental illness, why would you do that to somebody? If you really think they have mental issues, why would you try to tear someone down that hard? Why would you do that?
That's such a great point. Such a great point, Cheryl. Yeah.
She doesn't think anybody has mental illness. She just likes to target people and blame them and try to make excuses for what they say as far as the truth about her. So she wants her subs, whatever. I mean, I don't know if you saw the other night, but I literally played a song for 5 minutes. And the entire 5 minutes, the only person that was in her chat was her. Not bot even vacated.
I did see that. Was that where some people from your chat went over and were commenting over on hers?
Yes, it was after that. It was freaking hilarious.
I did see that.
Oh my God. I mean, Nightbot left her there by herself. It was hilarious. And that's what I said.
Some of the comments were great. The one that I saw where she's like, I like cats. Are we talking about cats or something like that? It was so hilarious. Sorry.
They were just, I mean, and it was a relieving night to be able to do that. It was hilarious. That was probably one of the funniest nights we've had in a long time because it's been so much bullshit night after night after night. So being able to go over there and do that, it was hilarious. And seeing the people from my chat pop up in her chat was, oh my God, it was just so funny because nobody was there. And then all of a sudden, here they come.
How many nanoseconds did it take for them to get blocked individually?
Well, it would depend on what they said.
Right.
And it would depend on if I would acknowledge them as being from my channel. Now, one of them stayed there for a little bit, and it was hilarious. But she was the only one there for a long time, and then there were no mods. So then she had to call some mods in to start taking over. It was just hilarious. The whole mess was hilarious. We're definitely going to have to do that again.
And she's not blind. I mean, she's obviously aware that before all this kind of drama, right? Her channel had tanked, right?
I think it's because of the filter.
There's no doubt about it. And she's not blind. She can see that. But it must be very hard for her to accept the reasons for that because there's no denying that it's just very boring. Almost all of her content is boring to most people.
Well, that's like last night. I went over there and literally I showed about 2 minutes of her live when she was showing those shells that she said were figures. That she literally was holding them up to the camera and saying, okay, this is Mary. This is the Madonna. This is a chubby cherub. This is definitely an angel. See the wing? She said she had 3 bags of shells that were figures. And I'm like, this cannot be real life because the shit she was showing literally looked just like blobs. They're a chubby cherub. Come on. And she struck me for playing that.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Well, I countered it, and now she has to take me to court, or let it fall off. But she never takes me to court. This is the 12th time she has struck me, and she's never followed through with it any other time.
Mm-hmm.
And every time, I don't know if she does it just to see if it's in my name, but I don't know how many times I have to tell these idiots. Even if somebody gives me a channel, I put it in my name immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes or have a channel that's in somebody else's name.
Mm-hmm.
They're idiots.
I mean, I'll obviously be accused of blowing smoke up your ass or whatever, right? But it's just the case that whenever you do, when you lose a channel and then you start a new one, you very quickly, your numbers, your subs go, they balloon very quickly, and you always get, like 2, 3, 400 people in there very quickly, you know. So there's a reason for that. People obviously enjoy listening to you, you know. I mean, you are good at what you do,
Not
and
not according to the ones who don't like me.
well, they just it's hard for them to accept the that people want to listen to you, you
Well, that's
know?
just like this whole, with me building this new platform
Uh-huh.
that I'm doing, and the fact that my community raised $10,000 in less than 2 weeks to get it built. People are literally losing their shit.
I'm sure.
Absolutely losing it because the community raised that much money in that short amount of time.
Hmm.
And what it boils down to is the sad fact is, and the reason that they're pissed off about it is because they couldn't do it.
Hmm. Yeah. And they don't like it, right?
Oh no,
Don't like
Christina,
that.
they don't disappear if you don't acknowledge them. Trust me. I've been doing this for 5 years. I started out on Facebook and then I came here, and they don't disappear. It doesn't matter if you acknowledge them. It doesn't matter what you it doesn't matter what you do. They're still going, because I mean, like with Merb, I didn't talk about her for over 6 months. Completely forgot she existed. And then I found out that she had hired the private investigator. And I was
Oh no.
furious.
Wait,
And
what?
yeah.
Yeah, you may not know about that, Cheryl.
Yeah, so I've been trying to get caught up on all the history, but that's kind of impossible. I don't know anything about an investigator.
She her and two of her people hired a private investigator to try to find some dirt on me or my family.
Yep.
Now they swear that he didn't ever come to my house, but about the same time that he was supposed to have been hired, I had people kicking my door open, my front door. I had tires going flat. I mean, just all kinds of crazy stuff, to the point that I ended up, I literally, my house is surrounded by cameras now. You can't come 1 foot in my yard without me knowing that you're there. So, such a crazy thing. I mean, to find out that somebody has hired a private investigator to try to find something out about you or your family to drag you on the internet about, and they found nothing. I mean, I've been at this for 5 years and I use my real name. Anything and everything that there is about me that is out there has been beat like 2,000 dead horses.
Hmm.
I mean, we're talking about they're rugs at this point. They've beat them so much. And Body Cat, she and I have become friends. And I'll tell you, I never thought that would happen because I couldn't stand her when she was at Merb's, because she had the reputation that she did Merb's dirty work. And it's so interesting to me that she's absolutely nothing like what I thought she was.
Right? Yeah. This is the other thing that she keeps repeating, which she gets wrong. Like, she seems to think it's a denigration for she terms it flip-flopping. All these flip-floppers out there. It's perfectly natural when you're on social media to, for 3, 4, 5 years to change your opinion about people. Things change, things evolve. Okay, it doesn't mean you're just some superficial flip-flopper, Merb, okay? That's just life.
She's just, oh, I don't even know. She's
Okay, Bitey Cat just sent me her own story that she's happy for me to read out, and there's some images to show as well, just to contrast with what Merb put up. Her own non-copyrighted, copyright-free pictures that she enjoyed putting up on her blog post. So I'll read this out for Bitey Cat, and then I'll show you the images. So Bitey Cat says, and I've not read this yet. Hey Rabid, I have to confess, I do live in a shithole. Look how terrible it is. And all of the cat piss fogs my camera whenever I take pics. I am deeply ashamed of my hideous kitchen countertops because I can never hope to afford muddy brown ones like what Merb has in her beautiful kitchen. I'm going to beg her to show me how to decoupage my ugly counters with the mildew Dollar Tree napkins she sent me. The ones that have watercolours of underage knocked up Scotty puppies with bleeding head wounds all over them. The drive to our filthy beaches is a nightmare because there are too many to choose from, and some are as far as 15 minutes away from my shitty house, which makes me seethe with anger every time I go. Then when I get there, I can't even see the ocean because of the millions of bloated elderly women collecting shells everywhere I look. What's worse is they're always licking the insides of those shells and gnawing on the last bits of gristle that get stuck in there. And those are resources I need for whenever I make decaying slewed salmon slop in butteroos from Merb's special recipe. Also, my hoarder's night table is so filthy that when I put a mouldy snack on it at 3 in the morning, next to my terrible tasting iced coffee, it fills me up with hair and piss before I can scoop it out of the bowl with my grimy bare hands and swallow it while making slurping noises. My bathrooms are like peep show toilets in Times Square, and anyone can see that the shells on my sinks are not what they should be. Moreover, they stink to high heaven. One day I hope to live in a sparkling palace like Merb's, and I can only pray that one day I will be as happy as she is. And here's Bitey Cat's
Oh,
decrepit
that's atrocious.
home.
Jesus. Horrible.
Horrible. How can you live here?
I wouldn't eat anything that came out of that kitchen. Just saying.
My God.
Okay, I just gotta say, I do love that light though.
That is a cool light.
Yeah, but everything
like
else
that.
in that bathroom is just disgusting.
I can't quit laughing. I literally had to mute.
I did too. I bet there's bugs in there.
Roaches, I'm sure.
Yep.
Oh, hold on.
I was like, wait a minute, what just happened?
My brain couldn't process that fast.
How can you live there, Bitey Cat? Come on.
Wow. Kudos to you for
I mean,
For
she
bearing.
Merv obviously doesn't know much about St. Augustine.
I don't think it matters from what I get from her. It doesn't matter. If it's not her life, it's not up to par, period.
Well, the thing about it is that she has doxed everything. The other night, if she said one time where she lived, she said 5,000. And if she said her full name one time, she said it 5,000. It was just over and over and over and over and over. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't care for the beaches over there, but because I don't think there's anything as pretty as mine. But it's still Florida, so I'm all for it. But it's actually one of my most favorite places to go because of the history there. And I mean, I love this swamp. I love it.
Oh, right. I know. It's like a painting.
It is. It's such a pretty swamp.
Well,
No, but where's the cat piss?
Well, it was there. You just couldn't smell it, I think.
yeah.
It might have,
Well, we need smell-o-vision.
yeah. It could have been in the salad, maybe.
But could you imagine if we had smell-o-vision, what Merbs
No.
would smell like? Nope. Me either.
No thanks.
Don't want to.
See, I get the impression that she like melts a lot of, wax. So I bet I do too. So I'm not slamming her for that, but I get the impression her house probably just has a lot of smell to it.
Well, the fact that her fingernails are always dirty, just I can't. That is like a pet peeve of mine. I cannot deal with dirty fingernails. There just ain't no sense in it. You can get a nail brush at the Dollar Tree.
Isn't that where she gets a lot of her stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where she gets everything: makeup, clothes, the whole nine.
Yeah, just get a nail brush. Yeah.
I think she may be addicted to buying shit. I imagine she's got a lot of clutter.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. With the amount of napkins that she pulls out that she's procured from God knows where, and then curated into these, collections of hers. It's just, and I mean, her newest fascination and addiction is Temu. So it's like she's traded in the Dollar Tree for something else.
What's Temu?
It's a Chinese website where you can buy things cheap.
Right.
It's taken over the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody sent me a link to it. She really likes it. It kind of does look like it's like a discount store, like a Dollar Tree kind of place, but it's online.
It is. My children are obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Now, Kaylee and Hannah have gotten some cute, like tops, summer tank tops and stuff from there. But I'm not chancing it. I mean, they've gotten some stuff, but the majority of it is, and it is relatively, reasonably priced. But I don't need any other addictions. I'll stick with Amazon.
Can someone explain to me what the napkin thing is all about? Why are people buying napkins off her?
Okay, let me tell you a funny story about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So this whole time, I literally thought that these napkins were like real napkins, like fabric.
They're not real?
They're paper. They are paper napkins, Rabid. And the only reason I know this is because Tammy McD sent me a shit ton that she bought from Merb. $300 worth of paper napkins.
So
like
you've seen the products. You've held the products in your hand.
Here. Yes.
Wow.
I have them. I mean, these are like napkins you buy at the Dollar Tree or Walmart or whatever in packages, and she takes them out and sells them individually.
Is this connected to the decoupage thing? Is it so that they can decoupage with the napkins? Right.
She decoupages these stupid ass shells that she thinks, oh, I got some of the shells too. They ain't shells, they're plastic.
Hey, Nikki Rex. Good to see you again.
The ones that look like hearts that she says are shells that she puts those dang napkins in, they ain't shells.
She keeps seeing
She's literally seeing Jesus, Mary, and Joseph in.
Yeah, and her shells. Yeah. Yeah. God himself is connected through the shells to Merb. Oh, thanks, Betty Cat. That was awesome. That was so good.
That mess she was doing last night, that was the craziest mess I've ever seen. Now, I know she's batshit crazy, but when she held that one up and said, "Look, it's the Madonna. You can see her face. And look, it's a chubby cherub, but you can see the wing here." I ain't seeing none of that shit. And I just kept saying, is this real life? Is this really happening?
I'm not gonna go on camera, but if you could see my face right now, are you serious?
You're confused.
Well, you can't make this shit up. I couldn't make it up if I tried. She had this whole countertop full of these shells, and she said she had 2 other bags of them. The other ones you could see immediately that they were a figure. But these, she said, see, and she would hold it up. Go, Rabid, you've got to pull it up.
Oh, hold on. Let me have a
It's
look.
from last night. You have got to pull that part up because that's the part I showed, and she's probably going to strike you. No, she probably won't because the only person she strikes is me.
It seems to be the case.
It is. She struck me for playing one of BBT's videos. She struck me last week for playing Hell to the Nose video, and last night she struck me for showing these damn shells.
You, for some reason, Natasha, you get under her skin.
How could she strike you for someone else's video?
Well, you tell me, ain't that nice? She's always done it.
How do you do that? I want to do that because I see a lot of stuff I'd love to just strike.
She's done it twice now.
Wow. Wow.
It's funny, Natasha, because Cheryl and I's background on YouTube is slightly from different corners of YouTube. But so she's been getting a bit of an education over the last few days.
It's been about a week, and I'm not gonna lie. Like my brain, I'm having a hard time absorbing all this. I mean,
I'm telling you, if you know that shit crazy, you've come to the right place with her.
Well, you know the AD, the truth community, so you know how crazy it's over there. But this is a different level of crazy.
Oh yeah, AD told me. I remember when AD said I was smoking meth.
I don't remember that.
I do. I won't never forget it. He has since apologized, but I will never forget when he said that when I first came to YouTube, because at that point I was using my phone to film, and he would make fun of me holding my camera so close to my face. And he said, "What is going on with this woman? She has this accent and she smokes meth."
You have an accent.
Yeah, and I smoke meth. It was, yeah. Okay. I won't ever forget that. He and I are good now, but yeah, that was funny.
Oh, that's good. Okay, tell me what I'm looking for again, Natasha. Here, I'm going to bring up.
All you have to do is scroll through and see where she has all the ugly ass shells on her.
Okay.
In her video. It's her counter. She's going to be on the left.
It's so hilarious to me that you get so under her skin that she's making a fool of herself with this tiara thing.
The tiara is killing me. And you know, she went and got a bigger one when I made fun of the first one.
I know. I noticed.
The first one that she had on looked like something that you would get on toddlers and tiaras. It was literally a toddler crown. And hers isn't even real. That's not a real crown.
I mean, if she wants to make fun of somebody wearing a crown and you want to be like kind of, making fun, go get a fucking Burger King crown. Then you're actually making fun of what they're doing.
I thought it was. I think I'm on the wrong one, right?
Yeah, I think you are too. It's the crafting. It's that third one. Okay. Craft. Yep, that one.
Okay, prepare yourself, guys. Prepare to be amazed.
You have to wait till she gets them up there because this is hilarious. She really thinks this crown is cute.
It's really not. Really, really, really not.
I don't know what the hell that is. This was before I started watching it. She has some eggs with something in it. This is when she starts. Do you see this ugly shit? These are like shell remnants. These ain't even full shells. It's like the bones of shells.
I was just going to say, I thought they were
went
like
to the
chicken
shell
bones.
graveyard.
The shell graveyard.
This is trash shells.
That actually looks a lot like what you find in like an eagle's nest. You find a lot of junk like that.
Yeah,
Well, it almost looks like
I went
bones.
insane.
it does.
And
I love
then
for
the,
people laugh.
Oh, just wait. Just keep going. You got to keep fast forward a little bit more till she starts showing them. Now she's just putting them all out there. She's so ridiculous. She has to put them out one by one. Keep going. This is it, I think.
Okay.
Yep, I think so. Yep, there she is, picking them up.
At least 30 of just figures, maybe more, maybe 50.
Here?
I don't know, maybe more. I don't know. These are just some of the ones that I've right away. I said figures. But I'll show you like the figure.
Yeah, let me see ones to figure out.
So is she going to be making these into something?
I don't know what the hell she's doing with them, but just wait. I'm telling you. Somebody needs to send her to the psych ward.
That was a good wise man.
Let's see that right away is an angel. Is that one is an angel because you can see the wing? That's immediate. It's an angel.
Yes.
It's immediate.
It's an angel.
Right there, that's the Mary right away.
Mary.
There was the Virgin Mary, people.
Beautiful robe.
There's an angel right away.
Yeah.
Right away. Do you see an angel?
Oh, yeah. How could there be anything else?
There's the Mary. You can see the face of the Madonna.
Oh, that one.
That's the face of the Madonna.
That's very striking.
Yep.
God is in the house.
I can't wait till she gets to the fat cherub.
This is an angel. You can see the wing.
You see that wing? I don't see
Golden.
shit. But it's golden.
Pretty.
It's a golden wing.
Something so.
I have my angels from last year, which I just have out. And they're really
childish.
nice.
Which do you think is the most distinct angel? Do you have it out?
I have ones from last year that are very distinct, and this one is. I have a lot of Marys that are very distinct too, and this one just it strikes me as a little angel, chubby little angel.
Aw.
See, there's the chubby angel.
It's a cherub.
This is what she struck me for. I'm pretty sure she probably did.
Oh, that was that one. Yeah, that was definitely.
Yeah, that looks.
Oh.
That looks like nothing.
1, 2, 3.
And these other two, I don't know what the hell they're doing.
That was my other Mary. That's missing that time.
If you play a clip of someone's YouTube video, is it not okay if you do commentary on top of it?
Yep, supposed to be, but not with her.
Oh, here's an angel. The wing.
Oh, yeah.
Does that look like an angel?
Definitely.
Mhm.
Perfect.
That angel is special.
I've made enough of these flowers now that I have hardly any excess.
God, I can't take much more. That's hilarious. And she struck you for showing that.
Yes, I'm telling you, I was just like, what the hell when I saw it today when it came across that she had struck me, because I'm just over here cracking the hell up. She's so stupid. I mean, oh my God.
Anyone else would like to come up, guys? Feel free. There's a link. Are you going live later, Natasha?
Yeah, probably about 9:15 ish. Waiting on my kids to get home. But yeah, I've got to address
Okay.
BBT's newest video.
Yeah.
I'm I'm crushing pills.
What are you up to, Natasha?
I'm crushing pills and snorting.
Come on now. Come on.
It's my circle bottle because it makes this noise. Take a drink of it. And I had a cold, so I was stuck in snot.
Wow.
And she has cracked the case, and I am while I'm live. She said I should mute. Now, is it that?
How dare you make noises in the background?
Isn't that great advice coming from her? I'm telling you, I laughed so hard this afternoon. I like to have passed out. I laughed for a good 30 minutes. Any person that thinks that I sniff anything is an idiot.
Yeah, it's just ludicrous.
Ooh.
I just seen your comment there, Ivy, earlier. I see a penis in that shell.
Ivy Lynn cracks me up.
I think you're another one of our targets. I noticed, Ivy. Welcome to the party.
She claims the clips are not new. Yes, I know. Well, they're not. They're about a month old because I've been sniffing from this cold.
Oh yeah, her antics don't get me down. Don't worry, Ivy. Don't worry about that.
Mine either. I think they're all idiots.
This is the thing. I mean, I actually planned this live before I even got back from Ireland about a week or so ago, and I was going to I was just going to have a vent about YouTube in general, and obviously, with things happening over the last week or so, it's kind of turned into what it was tonight. But I've got plenty of other things to moan about in regards to YouTube, so I might do that another time.
Lord knows that's the truth. I will be so glad to get this website done so that I don't have to worry about any of this crap anymore.
Well, it must be so infuriating to have to just keep going through it, up and down, up and down.
It's frustrating because people lose me and then they can't find me. And I mean, it's like every day and then they'll find me again and then it goes down again. It's so freaking frustrating.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you've got that up and running soon enough, right?
It should be ready by the 1st of August. Yeah, I saw that. Did you notice that, or did anybody tell you about that last night, Rabid? That Merb read out BBT's post last night about me?
Yeah, that's so ridiculous in so many ways. What's going on there?
I don't know. I don't know.
Weird.
Obviously something because
yeah. All right, guys. I think I've kind of run out of steam really regarding old Marb. Kind of said everything I needed to say.
Appreciate you letting me come up.
Oh, you're always welcome.
All right, y'all. See y'all later.
All right, I might jump over later and hate bond with you.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Sweet.
All right. Bye.
See you later. You still there, Cheryl?
I am.
Thank you again, Cheryl.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for letting me talk about shit I probably don't know enough about to be talking about, but I did anyways.
I'll tell you what, it can be an advantage at times to not be aware of everything about a situation because there is value to looking at something as a kind of outsider, you can maybe
Mhm.
see things a bit clearer than others might be able to, you know?
Yeah. Well, I do know, in that other community that I come from, a lot of people, at least back in the day, watched her a lot. So I've heard her, but I've never watched her closely. So
Yeah.
this
Well,
has
now
been
you know. Now you know.
again, just the falling down the stairs. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, interesting. So yeah, I'll still be watching. Keep sending me clips and stuff, letting me know if there's something I should maybe watch. I'm probably gonna tap out of this. I think she classified it as a true crime
Series.
series with an evil villain or something stupid like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I heard the two, and that was I just can't. I can't.
Yeah.
My kids are older and grown, but it hasn't been that long since I've been in school, and I had to suffer through that. So yeah, I'm probably going to tap out of that. But keep sending me stuff if there's something that comes up.
Oh, I will.
Lyndon, I don't know. I mean, nobody that I know watches her anymore. So Lyndon asked, I wonder if that community still watches her. Nobody that I know watches her anymore. I do know quite a few people that actually do watch Natasha, and not to make Natasha or her subs mad. I never really watched her that much either. I was pretty much strictly with the truth community with those channels. I just didn't have enough time in my day to watch everybody, but I do know people that were very, very, they were always saying, hey, and I'm not just saying this because she was on your panel, but there were plenty of people going, hey, you have to go watch Natasha. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. I don't know anybody that watches MRB anymore. Doesn't mean there isn't any. I just don't know any.
Well, she's doing well lately, I guess, because of all this drama, but maybe normality will be resumed over there shortly. I don't know. Who
I guess it comes down to what does she want her channel to be?
Yeah, exactly.
Again, if she wants it to go back to the crafting type thing, then she's gonna have to get her head right and get back into that. One other thing I just do want to say really quick, I did hear her saying, oh shoot, was it to Natasha? The constantly threatening about what you're doing is illegal, or what you're doing is illegal. But it was Natasha, because then I heard her, I think it was Natasha, saying, well, sue me then. Sue me if I'm doing sue. So I kind of think that goes in reverse too. Like she's constantly saying people are doing and saying defamation and it's illegal. First off, people's interpretations of what is actually illegal seems to be so whacked on YouTube. Why isn't she out there suing all these people for defamation if that's the case? Because according to her, everybody has defamed her. So I just want to throw that out there when somebody's like, sue, kind of goat someone. Well, sue me then. Please take me to court. Send me the paperwork. Okay, well, why don't you? Instead of just bitching about it, stop talking about it and be about it. Do it then. Because you don't have a fucking thing. Is what it boils down to.
Yeah, well said. She just has to seem badass, I guess.
And she sucks at it.
Yeah. You're welcome, Jamie. You're welcome.
So Lizzie was in your chat. There was somebody that one time said to her, because Lizzie was talking about something, and it was all in friendly play, and it was cute. But Lizzie had said something, and this person told Lizzie, she's like, "You're about as scary as an ice cream cone." So I kind of feel that way about MRB. Like she tries to come off as badass, and you're just kind of like, huh? Yeah, nice try.
Well, what can I admire about her? If I'm trying to be fair, she's got tenacity when she's up for a fight. I'll give her that. But not much more. Not much more than that.
I mean, but what's driving the tenacity? Is it an obsession, or is it because she actually 100% believes she's been wronged in a correct way, as opposed to no one is allowed to ever talk badly of me wronged? There's two different kinds.
I think Because the thing that gets me about her, and I think it's why it took a fairly long time for some people to accept a few things about her, is that she can be incredibly convincing because she has the conviction, you know. It can be quite jarring when you discover some rather nasty attributes about her, just how convicted she is, you know. Um,
Wow.
I've never seen the like of it. Mama Stone says, Rabbit, every time you say Cheryl's name, I think you're saying mine, Cheryl.
Who said that?
Mama Stone.
Oh. Oh, her name is Cheryl.
Cheryl, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christina says, YouTube refuses to give me Rabid's notifications. Doesn't matter what I do. I think I know why. Because I'm not on YouTube often enough. I think the machine of YouTube kind of something's written into the code of YouTube that kind of punishes channels that are not frequent, you know,
Maybe
that are not
you should
coming
make
up.
a point of putting a community post out like at least every other day or something and see if that helps.
Yeah. And I am definitely going to try and to have more of a schedule where I am on at least once a week, you know, because I do enjoy sharing stuff on here. It's great, you know. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely going to make more of an effort. Definitely.
Did you see Jilly Bear's comment?
Which one?
It looks like a Vulcan ear.
Oh, about the shell. Yeah.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, with respect and Heidi Ho and myself, we come from that other side. We don't know that much, but I don't I can't speak for them, but I think we're all a little lost. Like this is just crazy. This
It's yeah, I mean to put that much thought into an attack like that is jarring, and it's coupled with the obvious anticipation of causing pain that
What
you are
brought that
so
on?
joyous about. Hmm?
What brought that on to that woman? What Bitey Cat? What did she?
Well, there's obviously a back and forth with
Right.
them.
Yeah, there's a history, but why all of a sudden now write this?
I think it's because Bitey Cat was on Natasha's channel on her panel
Oh,
just prior to that.
what is that? The kiss of death or something, huh?
I guess.
Oh, that's probably why you got it then too, right?
Could be. Well, it was that comment.
Oh, that comment, right.
And just for the record, the video that was so offensive that had that word in it, it was actually a fantastic video, Merb, and it put you right in the pocket, you know. It needed to be brutal, and it was very accurate, despite the big bad world that got you clutching your pearls. Yeah. So
Poor thing. Everybody pray for her soul tonight.
Yeah.
Because she had to hear that word. I'm looking at this, and this is a good comment. I mean, I've seen this, but I wonder if it was all of those words, which still aren't as many as adjectives as she used to describe that other person, or was it which one of those words would have set her? I bet it's the deranged, because that it's a little close to home, doesn't it? That's a nerve.
Yeah. Well,
neurotic delusion was good too. That was good too.
I certainly didn't expect her to like it, you know.
Thank you, Rabid, for your insight.
Yeah.
I will take everything you said to heart, and I will self-reflect on my behavior on the internet.
I think the most interesting thing to me is that she I think she accidentally inserted me apparently calling her a sorry excuse for a woman in when she was paraphrasing this. That's interesting to me that she did that. I don't think she intended to do that. It just came out, but I think that tells you something. It's very weak to use someone's gender against them.
Yes. Yes. I just think, again, just from the outside, she really does seem like there's a lot of projection, a lot of projecting, a lot. And I would even go so far as to say I have no doubt she's got a few subs that probably their silence is probably going, yeah, I kind of can't support that because that's kind of how you are, but I'll just stay silent. You know, of course they support her. They're not going to go, wait a minute. But yeah.
Sarah, yeah, that's exactly what it was. I think it was the term dangerous. Because she was screaming for me to go on her panel to explain why she's dangerous. Well, it's not an easy thing to flesh out because it's quite nuanced, but I think I've explained it tonight. So
yeah,
it's up to you if you. I don't think you're going to agree with it, but I can certainly back up my words. Okay. Tons of projection. Yeah.
I think anybody who goes so far out of their way to be cruel to somebody and loses their shit in some of the stuff that I've heard in a way, you know, involving people that have nothing to do with your shit and working everybody up like a beehive into a frenzy because of your shit. Those are dangerous people because they do get people that, follow them. And somebody said it in your thing way up earlier that she's like Jim Jones. And, you know, to a certain degree, you know, if you have followers that are willing to walk off the edge with you, you are a dangerous person.
Yep. There's no way around it.
Dangerous with your words is, you know.
What if Bitey Cat didn't happen to be the strong person she is?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I know that you hope that she isn't, Merb, but you're wrong. And I'm glad you're wrong. Because you would enjoy it too much. Alright, guys. I'm looking forward to reading back these comments. I always read back the comments when there's... Obviously, it's hard when there's so many people in here, which is not very often for me. So trust me, I will definitely be reading them back when I can. And I'm sure there's some interesting comments in there. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you all being here. I think this criticism is important. I genuinely do. So it had to happen. So thanks again to Cheryl, to Natasha, and thanks to all you guys. I will try and be back on sooner rather than later. And I might see you over at Natasha's later. So have a good night, everyone, and give Bitey Cat your support.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.